Yes, it was a magical night in Egypt, a majestic evening, and the night of 1,000 nights here in the country, the transfer of the 22 royal mummies from the Egyptian Museum in Taghreed to their final resting place at the National Museum of Civilization in Fustat, that has been making headlines all over the world and has been read with a sense of pride all over the world. One of the best epics that has marketed Egypt all over the globe recently. Well, the Golden Parade, as we've seen, it made its way through Cairo streets in an event that drew the attention to Egypt and to the Egyptian ancient civilization and Egyptian culture and heritage in a unique global event that was seen and was appreciated and admired by the whole world. Tonight it's a recap of how the world did see this great event, and it's a golden parade and a golden opportunity to market Egypt all over the world. And I have the honor and pleasure to have with me in the studio Mr. Waleed Battoty, talking together about this huge event, this magic that has happened on Egyptian soil. Mr. Battoty, the advisor to the Minister of Tourism, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And congratulations, definitely.
Congratulations to every Egyptian, to me and you and to everyone. It was, as you said, it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. The way Egypt was shown to the whole world, and I think we deserve this level of event.
Yeah.
I think they took us where we really belong, especially those who work in tourism felt the pride so much. I have to tell you how did I spend the day. That day in the morning, of course, Nile TV International was going on and on and on and on.
Yes, since the early morning and
you were steering, but we really didn't know what was going to happen. And when the moment came and we thought, okay, everything that people was waiting for or thinking it's going to happen, something else happened, and then it was just a fantastic. I mean, I honestly, what I said to myself, there was one thing I wanted him to be with me to witness this, because this is, I think, the best post ever would have been written about this event. Would have been my best friend Aki, Akram Allam,
God bless his soul.
God bless his soul, who I know he was there with his soul. And we have some, even his daughter, she said she saw him in the dream. As she watched that and she went to bed, she saw her father, and he said that he was in the show. His brother saw him. I mean, can you imagine, this is on a small scale, this is what we feel towards such thing. It was a great night. This is, as I said, this is what Egypt deserves. I'm you know, Nile TV International, they called me to come on air on one of to comment on one of the, and I said I'm speechless, but I was talking and talking and talking, and they was so patient. They didn't really cut me off or anything like this, but you're supposed to talk for a couple of minutes.
It was your big day.
It was
the big day of all Egyptians, actually.
All Egyptians. There's not a single person who did not admire and enjoy this. Listen to everything. I mean, I don't think we have enough time from this episode to the end of the month to talk about the beauty of this event. When we see it on the screen and everything, we see His Excellency Dr. Khalid Anani, the Minister of Tourism, showing the President of Egypt.
He was showing and shining that night.
Yes. And of course, I have to say, being a tour guide, and he was a tour guide, that's what also made him, of course, he's a good tour guide. When he worked as a tour guide, he was more academic than any tour guide, but he had the talent of also, how can you divide all the pieces that you want to show the President and the guest of honor, His Excellency the Prime Minister and the two guests. How can you show them this quickly within 8 minutes? And everybody was listening. Everybody was so entertained with the pieces and moving from one piece to the other. And it was so elegant. Let's call it, I want to give it this name. It was an elegant night.
It was an elegant night and a chic night. And,
very chic.
And definitely it is going to remain in our memories. And also throughout the whole world, we have seen tributes coming from all over the world, and some describing the breathtaking, magical night of Egypt as something that has never been seen before, as a true scene of magic. Well, definitely this is going to reflect on promoting the tourism sector, and we're used that you would just bring in more good news in that respect. The good news definitely is that it has happened, but we will have more to come concerning the positive repercussions.
Coming over today, I've received a few phone calls, and those numbers did not ring for some time. But now they've been ringing and said, do you have your calendar with you? I said, I'm driving, but I can park. So I parked the car. Said, okay. And I didn't say anything. Of course, they were checking the dates. And then they start giving you the dates. That means there has been booking, or there's been an announcement that there's groups coming. I'm talking groups, high end. Okay, so that means they were forced to move and say, okay, yeah, the vaccination is done almost everywhere. So whoever has received the vaccine will come and visit
and
Egypt.
Enjoy.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking about the high-end client that couldn't help themselves. And there is people that start booking right away. The minute they saw this. I have a client who was a friend. All my clients, they become friends.
Friends, definitely.
He is a brain surgeon.
Yeah.
And a brain surgeon
we do have here excerpts of the magical scene.
Look at this.
And
you know, I've been to all squares around the world that has Egyptian obelisks. To be honest with you, I've never seen one of them. I've always been jealous of all the other ones because they really look beautiful.
Yeah.
But none is like this. Look at this. I wish they announced that, let's say, I don't know if this lighting could continue every night, but if they could do one day of the week,
Yeah.
okay, and they play music, why not? We deserve this.
Yeah.
We deserve that all Egyptians goes and stand there.
And witness the scene.
And witness the scene again and again and again and
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Why not? Why not? It is so beautiful.
We could see also while the parade is moving, look at the minute details with the decoration, the embellishments. Everything was really royal on that night.
You know, I don't think this is going to be maybe a big. I don't think there is not the word in English yet to describe what we saw. I don't think it is there. This is something was breathtaking. It is
amazing.
Out of look at this. Look at this. Look how it's happening, and then the closing, and then the opening.
Of course, this shows the sense of patience and perseverance. This took many months actually to be happening like that on solid grounds. It's not something easy to have all this beauty in an unparalleled scene like that.
I want to comment on the cameras. How many cameras were on?
Yeah, more than 400 satellite international channels we're also covering.
Yes, but I'm talking about
the setup of
the
the
main
cameras.
ones. Yes, yes. Look, like the ones that are going, and they were just.
Bring them here and forth, yes.
Look at this. I mean, I think that's a drone above, and the motorcycles. I mean, God bless them. When they were above,
Yeah.
and now I want to tell you about this because it's very important. By the way, I'm very proud that one of my friends, his daughter, who's in the Faculty of Art, she did this drawing on the wall. The President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, you can feel it in his eyes, you can feel it in his look, that
Yeah.
thank you.
Very proud.
I'm very proud. And I've said our president was receiving 18 kings and 4 queens, the way when he was walking and going up and waiting, and they start coming, and the 21 salute gun, and I mean, it was just a magical night. It was just so beautiful. And for the drum to play in the Civilization Museum and to be heard and synchronized with the military band in Tahrir Square, this is, I don't think it's doable. I don't know how they did it, but it happened. And it was live. I mean, nothing was pre-recorded and then they played it. No, I mean, Muhammad Munir, the king.
Yes, yes, out of this world.
Out of this world. Khalid al-Nabawi.
Yes.
Khalid al-Nabawi, whoever chose Khalid al-Nabawi.
It was his role, by the way. Very authentic. Well, the details, we will go like forever describing the procession with all its colorful details and minute details. The whole world has been really dazzled with this look and with the Royal Mummies Parade that has been making headlines. Let's watch some excerpts and we'll be back. Yes, what a marvelous event that showed Egypt's tourism potential and our cultural heritage to the whole world. It was broadcast live throughout the whole world. More than 400 channels had actually covered this beautiful event. And we have this report that marks more concerning how Egypt dazzles the whole world with the Royal Mummies Parade, how the world had received the royals with pride as well. Let's watch.
The eyes of the whole world turned to Egypt on Saturday evening as one of the most important archaeological events of the 21st century took place. The 3-hour-long Royal Mummies Parade started at 6 p.m. Cairo local time and saw 22 royal mummies transferred from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square to their new home at Fustat National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. As the parade was set to begin, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that the awe-inspiring spectacle will be proof of the greatness of Egypt's people who stand guard over this unique civilization that extends back to the depths of history. He invited all Egyptians to witness this monumental day and to be inspired by the spirit of their ancestors. The head of state said, "Let's continue on the road we started, the road of growth and humanity." The royal mummies, which belonged to ancient Egypt's 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th dynasties, were placed in specially constructed vehicles as part of a magnificent parade and include the mummies of 18 pharaohs and 4 queens. The mummies include those of the pharaohs Ramses II, Ramses XI, Ramses VI, Ramses V, Seti I, Seqenenra, and Thutmose III. The queens transferred were Hatshepsut, Meritamun, the wife of King Amenhotep I, and Ahmose Nefertari, the wife of King Ahmose. The event started with the arrival of President al-Sisi, accompanied by Minister of Tourism and Antiquities Khaled al-Anani, to inaugurate the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. The minister then guided al-Sisi through a tour of the museum, after which a promotional film of tourism in Egypt featuring the Egyptian actor Khaled al-Nabawi was aired. El-Anani said that the film revealed only a small part of what Egypt has achieved in the tourism and antiquities sectors. He also said that the film aims to show the world the diversity of the country's tourism products. The film showed only a small part of the state's achievements in the field of antiquities and museums during the past few years, during which Egypt was able to establish and develop more than 20 museums. There have been several significant efforts to restore and develop more than 100 buildings and archaeological sites from different eras across Egypt, with work progressing significantly at the GEM, which is nearing completion. El-Anani said that there are now more than 80 Egyptian archaeological missions which have been able to make important archaeological discoveries. The minister said that Saturday's event is an exceptional and unique event that best promotes Egypt's tourism. He also noted that the coming period will witness the introduction and opening of many archaeological artifacts and discoveries. El-Anani announced that Egypt has completed 100% of the work on the Museum of the Capitals of Egypt. He also said that Egypt is currently preparing for the opening ceremony for the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is said to be another significant event attended by world leaders. Anani concluded his speech by saying that today, no voice is higher than the voice of the Royal Mummies Parade. The minister's introduction was then followed by a documentary film in which a number of Egyptian actors each appeared from different touristic destinations across the country. Soon after the minister's speech and the film concluded, the doors of the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square were opened to allow the 22 mummies leave for the last time. The mummies were transferred in cars specially constructed for the procession, bearing a logo and the name of the royal mummy on the car in Arabic and English, as well as hieroglyphs. Horse-drawn war chariots, also specially made for the occasion, took their place on both sides of the road during the parade. The cars proceeded in a circular shape around Tahrir Square itself, moving around the obelisk that now lies at the center of the square. At the same time, the obelisk and the buildings around it were lit up for the occasion, with the procession proceeding to move along the banks of the River Nile. The procession path included 8 notable points, the most important of which were Tahrir Square and the Ain Sira Lake. The procession featured military music, with an impressive artistic performance displayed in celebration of the royal exit from the museum. A number of actors participated in the ceremony, talking from different touristic destinations, including Yusra, Hussein Fahmy, Ahmed Hilmi, and Mona Zaki, among others. Maestro Nedra Abbasi conducted the United Philharmonic Orchestra with 120 musicians and 100 singers for a monumental new composition by Egyptian composer Hisham Nazih at the Pharaohs Golden Parade. Ancient Egyptian music is played in a mystical atmosphere. The mummies were received by President Sisi at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, where they were greeted by a 21-shot salute. The highly anticipated event was attended by a number of world leaders and other notables, including the UNWTO Secretary General Zurab Pololakashvili and UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay.
Yes, the president had actually invited all Egyptians to look at this day closely and to be inspired by their ancestors. They are really very inspiring, how royal, how magical, how elegant and chic, as we were speaking.
The president, God bless him, he wants to take us to where we really belong. And I heard him yesterday. He was, as usual, opening the new center for making everything through computers and cards, the smart cards and everything. He said, I can do an opening every day. I'm just worried about you. The question is, Egypt, where we're going, I think we're hitting somewhere very big. I think we're getting better. We're doing much, much, much better. For those who did dream good things for this country, this is happening now. I can see it happening. As how many Egyptians sat and watched that day? 100 million? I would say 80 to 90 million of the Egyptians watched that. How many people around the world watched this? I had some friends from abroad that they said probably the people that watched this on air, over 1 billion. What is the outcome? I represent the World Federation Tourist Guide Association in the Middle East, and the amount of congratulation that they've been saying to us, and we have a close group that we communicate and talk to each other on, all of them, and they took immediately once they released the video. It was put on the official site, and people were so happy for us. That's what I'm saying. People are happy for us. People are enjoying what we are reaching.
Yes.
And as I said,
look at the minute details, at the designing, the dresses, and this was a fabulous performance by Amira Slim then, and Izzy's epic is considered to be really unrivaled in its beauty. But everything was like, completing each other. I mean, the dresses, the aura, the singing, the performance.
The notes they're holding has the, look, whoever
Yes.
did think of printing the logo.
The scarab here, we could notice also the embellishments of the dresses. So
The way
the
that's,
night was really unique by all faces. We could see the cover even, yes, by the notes, as you were
Yes,
saying.
they did think of everything.
Exactly. So
They did
we're
not-
talking about the minute details and also the dress code concerning the members of the orchestra, how they were all in harmony, wearing the black and the pearl.
This instrument, the rababa,
Yeah.
which comes from Upper Egypt, by the way, we have a similar one in the Cairo Egyptian Museum, and to be performing in such an event, the tambourine, the flute, and we have sceneries from tombs that has the exact same instruments they've used then, and this is to show that Egyptians also played music, and this event showed that Egypt can respect and showed respect to their ancestors. I mean, when I saw my president,
Let's enjoy the performance of Amira Slim, and it's like a flashback and live again those glory moments for Egypt. Let's watch. Yes, we were talking that it was like a fairy tale night, and we could see also the different spots. We have seen Gem, we have seen the different parts of Egypt, the beautiful, fascinating archaeological sites present, Deir el-Bahari temple in Luxor, and the beautiful places where everyone all around the world are now very much keen to come to Egypt and visit those beautiful sites.
the smart thing that during the parade, everybody thought it is just going to be on the parade, and that was very smart of them to show different spots from Egypt. Here's Hatshepsut Temple. There was from Saqqara, from Giza pyramids,
From Gem.
Gem is very important
Yes.
to show that we're ready. This is an unbelievable message that it's finished. You can't see the cranes anymore. I mean, we've always seen cranes, and
Yes,
we've seen,
yes.
this time we didn't see any cranes, and you saw the lighting and everything, and the grand gallery and the grand staircase and everything. That shows that we're ready. And look, I wish we can, I don't know how can we keep this lighting on and open the visits at night, and I mean, it could be a dream, but it could be done. If they've done it like this, look, it's just spectacular.
Magical.
It's
Yeah.
magical. Yes, you're right. The word is magical. Sometimes we don't find the enough words to cover this.
And the sense of professionalism also of the orchestra has been captivating hearts all over the world, with each and every performance quite very meaningful, and at the same time the sense of harmony with all of them together.
And taking you from here to there, and and the music was just breathtaking.
And it went on like very smoothly. You could like feel it. I love the scarab, I love the design. Very much royal here.
And I would like to say that few times we postponed it, the parade. Thank you. That means
Extra effort.
we're not going to do it till we're really
Perfecto.
perfect. Yes, they did it right. Thank God. I mean, it was wonderful. The show, it was outstanding. Look at this. I mean, the drum player, who she become a very popular figure all over the world.
Yeah.
Look at her. And she knows what she's doing. She's
She has
very
a character, an identity. Another performance where we have more than one talent here, Nisma Mahgoub, we have Amira Slim, and also definitely the orchestra, all combined are actually living a story, like the حكاية جديدة. It is a story of pride, a story of magic, a story that will make our name and our brand, Egypt, for a long while, always remembered and respected.
In my profession as a tour guide, I don't think there is not a single tour guide in this country he will not talk about this. I mean, this become part of our explanation. When we take tours, we talk about the Egyptian Museum, we talk about the pyramids, the step pyramid, and now we have to talk about the golden parade, the pharaohs. As I said, our president, my president, who I'm very proud of, my president, he did receive in a very elegant way 18 Egyptian kings and 4 queens where they belong, and they honored them and they gave them a beautiful place. And by the way, I've been to the place and I know what it looks like and what it's going to look like. It is just outstanding. So that shows that Egypt is not going forward only on making new cities and agriculture and industry and roads and bridges and transportation. No, this been taking so long and good effort and good training and everything. Actually, you know, this is going to put us in a very hard position that we need to match.
What's next?
And we need to match this level.
Yeah,
okay?
always.
So
this is the level expected now.
We have to work on training to everyone in the field of tourism to be compatible.
Yes.
Because people will not accept less than what they have seen in this one. And this is what's going to bring people to this country again and again and again and again.
Yeah, let's enjoy excerpts, because on our edition tonight, it's a recap of that beautiful night. Let's watch together this beautiful performance and we'll be back. on that night, and the orchestra was out of this world. It left an impact on all those who were watching all over the world. At the ceremony, we've even also watched many documentaries, and a documentary, as Dr. Anani then said, only showed a small part of what Egypt has actually achieved in the tourism and the antiquities sectors. This is Egypt's soft power that has been transcending barriers. And Nile TV International has aired that beautiful, magical performance twice. Once on air with, along with more than 400 international satellite channels all over the world, and also a rerun in order to enjoy such an amazing scene. With that beautiful ceremony, Egypt had succeeded to convey a number of messages to the whole world. So it was definitely a breathtaking event with the participation of superstars who shared and added glamour to this beautiful story.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it was just, as again, one more time, I can't describe it more than it was just an elegant night. It's a chic night. Everything, the tiny details. Have you noticed that as the kings and queens were arriving to the Civilization Museum, what the horses have done? They've all bent their heads.
Yes, in honor of
In
the
honor of
procession.
this is just beautiful, and gives you goosebumps when the 21 salute gun, I mean, they were fired. It was just, you know, they were met royal way. The parade was royal. Everything was done, thank God, was done perfect. And as I said, this will put us in a big challenge that we have to maintain on this level from now on. So we have to work on training. We have to work on enhancing. We have to work on implementing. We have, in my field, we have to be on the same standard.
Yeah.
So all tour guides needs to refresh all their memory, all their information. I know they're all good, but we all need to do this. We said we're going to start like a little protocol with the administration of the museum for some Egyptians, and we'd like to have Nile TV International to sponsor one of them, one of those days, that we will open tours for free for Egyptians. We'll go there, and we will give the museum is just out of this world. The mummy hall will open on the 18th. This might be a little bit difficult because it's going to be in Ramadan and not much people, but still, I know that the day it's going to open, it will be like any normal day. People won't be able to hold themselves from not going. The museum is already busy. In day one, I believe they sold close to 900 tickets.
Yes, sold out. Yes, all sold out. It's fascinating, a fascinating scene, and as you've said, that we can go like hours and hours talking about the beautiful scene. Definitely, it did send messages to the whole world on that night. Egypt did send messages to the whole world.
Number one, safety. Safety, safety. Number two, that at the same moment that the world is going through lockdown, over here you're taking your kings and queens and a ride in the city through the streets of Cairo after it's been made beautiful. And you're taking them from one museum to a better. By the way, that's a better place for them, and it would be more preserved. There's more labs over there. There's more attention. There is advanced technology for preserving. I mean, for those who were saying, no, we shouldn't be, people just stay and watch, because nothing is done in Egypt haphazard.
Yes.
Now we've learned that things are done perfect. You know, one of my
Perfectly
colleagues,
planned.
one of my colleagues, Lamia Sobhi, the conductor said, I called one of my friends and I asked her about the song of Isis, how beautiful it was, and it's real. As I said, Khalid al-Nabawi, the actor, appearing with Dr. Jailan Abbas who's a PhD in Egyptian civilization and Egyptian history, to appear in a church, and she is a veiled Egyptian woman speaking perfect English and talking about our church and
our heritage,
our heritage, and then again where they ended up in Al-Azhar, where he started with Allahu Akbar as if he's starting his prayer, and he has this thing in his voice, I must say. Munir was, I hate to forget, any of the names. All the Egyptian soft power.
Yes.
Yusra.
Yeah. All the Egyptian soft
She's
power.
a queen, I saw her in Fustat Lake, and then few seconds she was walking over a bridge, and then few seconds later she was inside.
Yeah.
How on earth they did this, I don't know, but I've enjoyed it.
We've all enjoyed it. It has been a breathtaking event. It has been magic happening on Egyptian soil, and the memory is going to remain there forever, a great memory, and definitely we will be building on what has been achieved, which was really big, and Egypt was #1 trending worldwide. So it is definitely with feelings of pride that we remember that historic moment and that magical night in Egypt. Mr. Waleed Battoty, advisor to the Minister of Tourism, I thank you so much for your effort and your contribution on that special night to Nile TV International, always adding value with the positive vibes and with your information, and for coming also tonight and sharing more concerning reading together that magic. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Promise to have me for after the opening of Gym, inshallah.
Yes, definitely.
Soon.
We're looking forward. We're looking forward for another hit.
I see you promoting King Tut.
Yes, definitely. We all love King Tut. King Tut is a pride, the golden pharaoh who still dazzles the whole world.
May I just say one last thing? Stay tuned to Egypt this coming month. There will be a big surprise to the whole world coming from the West Bank of Luxor.
Stay tuned. More news, and the pharaohs never stop to dazzle the whole world and never stop to surprise us, our great ancestors. I thank you so much for joining us on that special night and this special edition that is highlighting a magical night on Egyptian soil. I'm Taghreed Hussien. Many thanks for watching.